How did your first ooh go?
Very crazy to come up with that. It was alright though. It was fun throwing it up there too. But yeah, we're gonna keep building the chemistry, trying to get the second unit more involved. We got 2 new players on the second unit, not like the first unit. They played. The first unit was Chris, and we was a little lactic days of the last game, but we knew, so we'll figure it out.
Mike said he wasn't happy with how the second unit looked in terms of physicality. You agree with him on that?
Yeah, it'll be all right though. We knew, like I said before, and he the coach, so you gotta listen to what he say. And if we don't, we're not gonna be good. But I think it'll be all right though.
What's your thoughts of playing with JaVale? You got another arsenal attack that you can use with him. Saw you got a couple pick and rolls off of him. So what's that like?
Only one game, man, so it was fun. Those 13 minutes we played together. But like I said before, we're going to keep building the chemistry and just keep getting better and better every day.
What's the focus tomorrow against LA?
Play some defense, second unit. First unit will be all right. Like I said, they know each other. They know what to do out there. We just got to keep building the chemistry in the second unit and just try to keep encouraging each other.
What was the biggest positive, especially in that first half for you guys? Biggest positive, I guess, takeaway in that first half?
I mean, it's preseason, man, so you really can't judge anything out preseason. But we know each other. Basically the same team last year besides Dorte, Sasha, and JaVale. So we're just figuring each other out.
Do you like how the pace was overall? I mean,
we need to pick it up a little bit more, but that's what preseason for, to get in shape, and that's what we do.
How helpful would it be for you to have a consistent pick and roll partner?
I have a consistent.
How helpful is that? Like last year, you went through a lot of different guys.
Yeah, no, I had Domas. Yeah, it's great. It's great because it opened everything up for me, Fox, Davion, and our shooters we have. So it's just everybody plays off everybody.
How do you feel like right now? Not camp so much, but these practice days. Do they look any different once you start incorporating some preseason games?
No,
it's all the intensity.
All the same. All the same. Yeah, all the same.
How's your conditioning, would you say, through the first week? Are you guys feeling it yet, or is it just
feeling what?
Just being tired, bones,
yeah, we practice a lot now. We practice. We've been here a little bit, but I mean, that's our job, so we can't complain about it.
Shots hit and miss, but the rebounding issue that you guys had kind of carried over from last season. How do you guys fix that here in the last couple of weeks of games?
Yeah, like I said, man, it's preseason, so you really can't tell the overall team on what we're gonna do. But of course, we definitely got to rebound in. We got to box out, man. That's all it is, really, just boxing out and taking pride in it.
Thanks, Malik. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for giving us more than one.
We came down and we both just had them on.
You guys getting pictures done later?
Sitting here, what are you looking for in the second preseason game tomorrow?
Just for us to be better as a unit, especially on defense. I mean, I think we have 24 transition points last game. Obviously, that's what Toronto does, but for us, that's a point of emphasis that we need to be better at.
Malik was talking a ton about how the second group doesn't concern you as much, but the second group needs to build chemistry. How are you seeing the chemistry come along with some of the new guys that you added this offseason?
It's definitely coming. Obviously, that takes a little bit of time, but I think he's wrong because I play a lot with them. So I'm not sure how the rotations will be, but last year I did play a lot with the second group. But no, I think it works both ways. Obviously, because we play so much through the big. That person has so much command of the offense. So obviously, with JaVale being new and him not playing with anybody that's been over here, it's definitely a learning curve.
What kind of things?
Is there anything you can do to expedite building chemistry? Is that something that just takes time?
I mean, that's something that just takes time. As of right now, I feel like guys enjoy being around each other, enjoy being on the court together. But with the way that our offense runs, and you need to understand tendencies of each other, that definitely takes a little bit of time to build.
What were Mike's biggest points of emphasis coming out of the game against Toronto?
The transition baskets, really us getting back. I think that was a big thing, and then just really keeping the ball in front of us. I think I'm not sure how many threes they made. Pretty sure Gary Trent probably made half of them. So for us, we know that we have to keep the ball out of the paint.
Now, aside from the things that you just said you guys can improve on, what do you look at as positive or good from what you saw with this team?
I mean, specifically for the first group, I think we came out strong. I don't think we particularly finished the half well, but I think at the beginning of the game, I think we got stops. I think we got out in transition. We got easy baskets. We touched the paint just about every possession when we were first in the game. But that's something that we have to continue to do, necessarily work on, because that's the way that we play. We try to get up and down the court. So especially whenever we're getting stops, I think our offense looks that much better.
You said you were talking about tendencies just a second ago. That pretty much applies to the second unit too. You know, since they got new people in with Chris.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Because like I said, with JaVale, and we play so much through our big. Obviously Malik and Davion and Trey haven't played with JaVale or Chris, and then Chris hasn't played with any of those guys, and JaVale hasn't played with anybody either. And the way that we move the ball, the way that we cut off of each other, that takes time to build. So whenever you haven't played with someone, you don't understand their game just yet, and it takes a little bit to really learn each other and when guys want to cut. When someone drives where they want you to be, that takes time.
Because of that, do you try not to be too critical over one performance, be it good or bad?
Definitely not the preseason game. I mean, that's what you're playing preseason games to do, to work on that.
When you saw the potential of JaVale and Malik as a pick and roll duo?
I mean, Malik is one of the best pick and roll guys in the league, and JaVale is an extreme vertical threat. So I think that does nothing but help, obviously, Malik, and it helps us as a whole. When JaVale's rolling, I mean, guys have to tag him, or else it's going to be a lob fest the rest of the entire game. So that makes our offense even that much more dynamic.
When you get the preseason games going, the schedule almost kind of feels a little bit more like it does during the season. From that standpoint, does much change in your practices and your preparations?
No. I mean, this is the most amount of practice you can really have throughout the season. So try to get in as much as possible, because as games start getting rolling, you start having back-to-backs, 5 and 7s. You don't have that much time, especially not to go live. So this is the most amount of practice that you're going to be able to get for the year.
Yeah, we saw a lot of cuts, a lot of motion to the basket. Is that just the next level of the offense that you guys had from last season?
Yeah, a few things changed. Jay came back, said some things that he didn't like about it, and they obviously, the coaches talked about it. They changed a few things, so that's still a work in progress as well. But for us, we're really we're not learning a new offense, but we're learning a few new wrinkles into our offense. And I mean, I think in practice it's looked well, so we just have to have that carry over into the game.
You worked with Keegan a lot during the summer, and now his first preseason game. I'm curious what you thought about what he was able to do in that first game.
I think it was good. I told him he better not let Pascal just take the ball from him like that again at half court. But no, I think he was a little bit more comfortable playing off the bounce, getting to the basket. Just his overall aggressive level, I feel like, has gone up, and that's what we want out of him. He shoots the ball so well. He's so efficient at what he already does. We just want to be able to expand his game a little bit more.
You played a couple minutes next to Davion. How have you seen him grow as a shooter, and how much does that help when you guys share the floor?
Yeah, I mean, that's the work that he's put in. I feel like that makes us more dynamic whenever you can have two guys on the floor who can beat you off the dribble, create for others, create their own shot, and then defensively just be able to pick up and get after each other, so and get after other people. So with us being able to share the floor as much as possible, I think it does great things for us.
What kind of progress are you looking for tomorrow in Game 2 against the Lakers?
For us, just what we're doing defensively, and then just the new wrinkles in our offense. Try to cut down on turnovers. Obviously, I think we missed a lot of bunnies last game. Not necessarily worried about that. But then defensively, the Lakers are one of the best transition teams in the league as well. So how do we look as far as trying not to commit turnovers, not to give them easy baskets, and then even on a make or miss shot, us getting back and just being able to guard the rim.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think you're DeMar.
I'm not somebody.
Stepped into some weird and different life.
Mike, when we were talking with Malik, he was talking about how he's got to build chemistry with the second group, and we talked to De'Aaron about that, and he said chemistry something just takes time. What's your approach to trying to build chemistry with these new guys?
No, for sure. It does take time. Obviously, the guys that were here last year, they're a little ahead of the guys that are new to the program. So we have to, as a staff, be patient while being demanding. you know, and the players have to want to get it right sooner than later while trying to carry the new guys along themselves.
How critical, I guess, could you be after one preseason game, or did you want to be after one preseason game?
You know, I have a hard time not telling the truth, you know, and so I told our guys the truth. I thought, now in stretches, we played good basketball. You could see the flow and the spacing and all the things that we preach offensively, even defensively. I think we took 5 charges or something like that. And, you know, that's part of the physicality that I said that we have to have. We got to give up our body for the betterment of the team because we're not necessarily big, especially that starting group. And so we did some nice things, but then we went through stretches where, you know, we just didn't communicate in transition. And that was probably the biggest thing that I took away in terms of a negative, is our transition defense was not good. And then there were times offensively, because of the different combinations and the new guys, and even our old guys a little bit maybe over dribbling, we got to a rut of not playing basketball the right way or together.
Coach Brown, is that second unit going to take a little time to, you know, to get used to each other, you know, learn each other's tendencies?
Yeah, but you know, we have to be a little careful too, because the second, you know, we're playing in groups of 5. You know what I'm saying? And so the second unit may be Foxy, Davion, you know, Malik, Keegan, and JaVale. You know, or there may be some starters mixed in with that second group. So what you guys are watching isn't necessarily how it's going to play out during the regular season. We're not going to have our starters in, basically pull them out, you know, all together, and then put a whole new 5 in. I usually like to keep, you know, if I can, Fox or Sabonis on the floor at all times. And Keegan's getting to a point, too, at times where it'd be great to have Keegan and Fox or Keegan and Sabonis on the floor at all times. So there could still be different combinations that you'll see once the year starts when it comes to quote-unquote second unit.
We saw a little bit of De'Aaron and Davion playing together. Do you hope to try to use that a little bit more this year?
They did last year at times, you know. You know, obviously Davion would come in for Foxy, but then, especially if Davion was playing well, he'd stay on the floor and we'd bring Fox back, you know, because we just didn't take Davion out whenever Fox was out. Sometimes they did play together last year, and you know, it could happen again this year as well.
Mike, we saw the first 5, the second 5, and Sasha wasn't part of either of those and didn't play until the second half. Where is he at in his acclimation, and where is he at in your rotation as of right now?
He's, you know, he played well for us offensively against Toronto, and he's getting better. And again, like I said, we're just taking a look at different combinations. We may throw Sasha in with the second 5 and Dorte with the third 5. You know, there's the only thing that may not happen is I don't think I'll mess with the starting 5, but the second, the third 5 could change it at any time. But Sasha, again, showed some of his versatility on the offensive end of the floor for us that people will expect to see come this year.
Mike, do you anticipate that he would be in your rotation at the start of the season, and is like where you have him right now a way to help him acclimate and learn the system, since the learning curve is a little steeper for him?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if he will be or not. He's just got to keep fighting his behind off and getting better every opportunity that he gets, whether it's in practice and shoot around and or in the game.
Health-wise, everyone come out of that game good?
Health-wise, yeah.
Okay.
As you guys look ahead to LA, what are you looking to see from your squad?
To see if we can string a few more possessions together of playing fast, but also playing together and playing the right way. And then defensively, taking care of the transition game and being physical without fouling. I thought those were some of the things that hurt us against Toronto, you know, especially when we turned the ball over. We didn't necessarily have that next play mentality, meaning that, hey, immediately you got to transition as opposed to drop your head on your shoulders and then transition.
Mike, in that game, how
defense earlier in camp, I'm curious, like, what you saw in that first preseason game from him defensively, and how much of it is just adjusting to NBA speed, athleticism.
His defense against Toronto was at best okay, you know. He gave up middle a couple of times, and we're a no middle team. He's got to keep the ball on the sideline. and then he's got to make sure that he continues to understand the league, and so he's got to watch as much film as he can on guys that he may match up against, so that he can try to pick up on their tendencies sooner than later.
Mike, when you look at on the glass and your two starting forwards, neither one had a rebound. What do you have to do to get those guys to get in there and almost have?
We just got to put body on bodies. I thought we were pretty good, with the exception of the postseason last year, and our guys have done a decent job of it in practice. You know, it was great for us to go against Toronto because they're so long and athletic and quick. So it was a good test for us, and it's going to be something as the preseason goes along. If we don't correct on our own, I'll start harping more on. But as long as, you know, I see guys trying to go find the body and not necessarily not box out, then I'll let it ride for a little bit.
What do you think about the potential of Malik and JaVale as a pick and roll duo?
I tell you, it can be good because Malik is such a threat getting downhill in the pick and roll situation, and you know, he likes to throw the lob, and he didn't really play with a guy last year that can just go get it, you know. And so now as a big, you're put in a predicament. If you pay too much attention to Malik, which a lot of teams did last year, then you're going to put your backside in peril, because even when you have a small guy or whoever it is sink back on JaVale, they're usually not big enough to go up and challenge the lob dunk or anything like that. So that combination can be really good because Malik's a willing passer. Our spacing is usually pretty good, and JaVale gets in and out of that pick and roll quicker than anyone in the league, or almost as quick as anyone in the league. If there's a couple of guys better, I don't know. But and then that length, you know, makes it dangerous with the shooting that we have. So it could be pretty good.
Sean, sorry, did you have
No.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mike. Thank y'all.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Kurt. Sean was speaking, and then someone else was. And I think it was Jake. More, and I was like, I'm not good. One more.
Thank you.